Hey everybody, welcome back, and today we're going to talk about the Tanners Creek Indiana Bass Federation Invitational Tournament, and we're going to do a recap of how our day went for that. Really, I had a horrible practice. I got a few bites, but nothing crazy, and then late in practice I ended up getting some bites on the main river. And that kind of gave me some confidence, but I didn't know how big those fish are. Typically the fish on the main river are a little smaller. There's some big ones out there, but it's a lot of short fish. Being in the lead in the points, my goal was to just catch as many fish as I possibly could, and if possible catch 5. But after practice I wasn't feeling very good about it, but my goal was to try and catch a limit. Even if they were all 12 inchers, I didn't care. That's all that mattered. That last hour of practice, I found some fish on the main river that I thought I could go to. So I figured I'd start on those. So I started on those fish, and there was some current, but it really was kind of dead, honestly. The bait fish wasn't flickering. I didn't really have much chasing activity from the other fish. It just wasn't happening. So after like 45 minutes to an hour, I decided this ain't working. Told my co-angler, I said, buckle up, we're heading to a creek. And we just went and found a creek and just started flipping. And within 5 minutes of being in that creek, I ended up catching my first keeper, and then about 5 to 10 minutes later, I caught another keeper. So at that point, I was committed to just sticking around in the creek and basically just fishing what was in front of me, kind of like any other normal Ohio River tournament. We just go down the bank and just fish and kind of junk fishing. So I ended up catching my 5th keeper, and I had one that just barely touched. It kind of made me nervous to even take it in. And about 1:30 or so, I ended up catching another keeper that was about 12.5 inches and helped me upgrade. I also had one that I missed where I flipped into a tree and it got me hung up in a tree, and it kind of manhandled me, and I was not able to get that one in the boat. So that was probably would have been my biggest fish, but it is what it is. I did manage to catch 5 fish, and I was really happy about that, and I ended up keeping the lead in the Angler of the Year points. On the main river, I was getting some bites the day before on a Accent Finesse buzzbait. And I took the skirt off and just put a little trailer on there. I was able to throw that around some areas that the bait fish was active and get a few bites that way. I ended up catching one short that hit by a stump in a creek in the tournament. It was kind of crazy. It basically hit underneath the boat. I actually caught one short on that, but all of my keepers that I caught the day of the tournament came on a green pumpkin tube. And this is my setup that I was using. It's just a 5/16 ounce weight. It's pegged, and it's a green pumpkin tube with a trocar tube hook in there. And I just flipped that around on a 7-foot medium heavy rod with 15-pound fluorocarbon line. And I use a high-speed reel on that too, so I can pick up line in case one just starts running off with it, and I'm able to pick up as much line as possible, drive that hook into the fish. But that's pretty much how I got it done. That early morning switch up where I kind of deserted all the main river stuff and went to the creek and just went fishing, just junk fished whatever was in front of me. That pretty much saved the day, and I was able to catch a limit on the Ohio River, which sometimes is not very easy to do. So I was extremely happy to do that, and was able to move on to the next tournament. So hopefully this helped you out a little bit, and we'll see you guys next time.